I'm Isaac,
I'm Cole.
I'm O'Brien.
and this is the Criterion Coffee Club. We're three coffee addicts that just enjoy watching and making movies and teaching about them as well.
Oh,
We may not be regarded as leading experts, but we use our shared knowledge and experiences to help us dissect the world of cinema. So grab your favorite cup of coffee and sit back and relax. All right, hit me with it. Are we on brand today, folks? Did we have coffee? Are we having coffee?
Yes, for sure. Pete's.
I saw O'Brien just taking the biggest swig of his coffee right as I asked that.
I had
I
my
have
trademark
forgotten
on the
so
side
many
of the stick.
times. I'm just so happy to have it with me. Pete's coffee from California. I think I always thought it was from New Orleans, but it's a good coffee from out in California. Pete's.
Yeah,
Peets.
yeah. I'm having some coffee. I actually did French press today.
Mm,
I was like,
Ooh.
oh, this has been dusty. Definitely not because I haven't bought new coffee filters for my pour over, and I'm down to two.
right,
I was like, oh, this thing's collecting dust. Why not?
right.
I actually forgot what brand it is, but it's pretty tasty.
I made a French press coffee the other day. The coffee Kylie bought Twix flavored coffee
hmm
from the store, and it was really bad.
Yeah,
Whoa.
yeah, I can't
Twix.
imagine.
Yeah, it was like
Wow.
Twix name brand
Yeah.
flavored
Oh yeah.
coffee, but it was really gross.
There's how much left do you want to sip?
Yeah, dude.
I've
Kind of
never
bitter, so
you guys
probably.
are I've never told you about my brewer. It's a Technivorm Mocha Master. And that is I think it's a Danish.
I
Uh,
did drink this.
oh, is that the Twix stuff?
No,
No,
that's
no,
good.
God.
Okay.
That's really.
Yeah. I'll send you a picture of the bag later.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I got it from Trade Coffee, so I don't remember the brand.
Ooh,
I just remember like, oh, this is limited, so I get it now.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I forgot. I've seen images of the Twix one and went, and then I heard some pretty bad things about
It's
the Twix
really
one.
bad.
Yeah,
It tastes
yeah.
off, like something's funky with it. And then
Ugh.
she made cold brew out of it, and that didn't make it better.
See, that's how you know it's bad when cold brew doesn't
Yeah.
help.
Well, doesn't help is maybe an overstatement.
It helps significantly. It's
It,
just still not good.
it significantly is also an overstatement. It helped a
Oh,
little. It helped a little, but it's
oh
still
God.
not something I didn't really drink any of it to be. I took at one point I took like a shooter of the cold brew when I needed like a caffeine hit.
That's so funny.
Uh,
Dude, you gotta follow that Blue Wilds coffee guy because he just roasted his new batch like this weekend.
the guy's got good beans.
Yeah, he does have really good beans. And now you can't buy it for another 2, 3 weeks when he starts roasting their new batch.
Blue Wilds.
All right, you guys have the facts today.
Yeah. Let me start because I have the coffee fact and I'm really good at those. The did you know that in the commercial decaffeination process to make decaf coffee, that and I don't know how they do this, but the caffeine is produced as like a byproduct, and then they sell that to companies that make like
Like
energy drinks and
Dr.
Dr. Pepper
Pepper.
and stuff like that.
Oh, that makes sense. Because otherwise it's just kind of wasted caffeine.
Yeah.
Um,
wow, that's
I'll hit you
amazing.
with this. Um, what are what are the three ingredients that you need to make napalm?
I don't even know how to begin with that question. What the hell do you mean?
Well, one of them is Bezonin. Okay.
Sure.
That's actually how they used to extract caffeine from coffee.
Bezoning?
Yeah,
Okay.
one of the three main
Ingredients
ingredients
of
to make
napalm.
napalm.
Okay. Chemistry's odd.
Yeah, as you can imagine, there were some health crises, which then ended up leading to other processes like
Right.
Swiss water process,
Right.
because now it is illegal everywhere to do that kind of
Right.
process.
Right. That sounds like cancer. or at bare minimum, just highly flammable.
Yeah, which is also funny because decaf was originally advertised as the healthy alternative to caffeinated,
Right, of course.
which, of course, through that chemical process was probably not
Yeah,
the case.
but also at one point, Lucky Stripes was like the recommended cigarettes for pregnant women. So
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, our health standards have greatly improved
yeah,
and also greatly gone in the opposite direction. And I'll
well,
leave that
Oh,
at
yeah.
I'll leave that at that.
Yeah.
Uh,
Like
processed
worms,
foods,
baby.
high fructose corn syrup.
plastic.
Yeah, we went from, hey, we kind of have it a little bit better with our generation because it
Okay.
went from asbestos
To plastic,
to lead
to lead to plastic.
to plastic. So at least we're not getting something that will give us cancer.
Yeah.
We're just getting digestive issues
Yeah.
and among other things. But
Yeah.
it's not lead poisoning.
Lead poisoning's pretty rough.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Well, what about you, O'Brien? What movie fact you got for us?
Movie fact. Movie fact. Although I got to admit, you kind of reminded me with your fact is that when they make Dr. Pepper, one of the byproducts is alcohol, and they just offload that to the brewery. No, I'm kidding. It just.
Hey, Coca-Cola used to be made with cocaine.
Whoa, that's true. Yeah, good point. That's a good point.
Just a little.
Where did we go wrong?
Yeah.
What's wrong with
What
this
could
country?
possibly go? Well, my movie fact is kind of cool. This is Fellini's first movie, and so he's directing it. Nobody knows how the shared process works, but the director he worked with it, and I got to admit, I'm pulling up my Wikipedia page for the co-director, Alberto Latuada. Latuada. That apparently he was a good writer and pretty much an underappreciated director in his own right, but worked together with Fellini. And what's fascinating is both of the women with the prominent roles, Giulietta Messina, that's Fellini's wife, but then Carla Del Poggio, that was Lily, and that she's the wife of the co-director. So both directors had their wives as pretty much stars in the project. And apparently it went, that could be problematic. Co-directors working together for the first time and wives, but
Yeah.
apparently it worked really well. And
Okay. That's interesting.
Yeah. I'm
I
now
can't
that I
think of
think
another.
about it,
Yeah.
I'm kind of disappointed in you, Cole.
Why?
Our first Italian movie, and you had double shot espresso today, and you didn't even bring up any coffee fact related
To
to
Italy?
Wow, both of us really messed up pronouncing words there.
Yeah.
Espresso in Italy.
Yeah.
Or actually, not.
Espresso.
Actually, I don't even think, if I remember correctly, actually, it wasn't even started in Italy. Or
There's
maybe
a
it
coffee
was
fact.
or maybe it was macchiato.
I've got a coffee question, and I
Oh,
won't divert us for long. And I should have the can of coffee. There's there's coffee. I think it's Italian. A lot of people use it to make espresso, and it's the color of the can is yellow, and it starts with a B, like a red B. It's really common type of coffee.
Cafe Bustelo?
That's it. That's it. My question is, can you put that into your coffee maker? Like I put 5 scoops of, coffee. And can you put that into just a standard coffee maker and make coffee with it? Or does it have to be the espresso process?
You could. It's going to be incredibly, incredibly bitter.
Ooh,
I
okay.
know because I've done it. And it's also like it's incredibly fine. The Cafe Bustelo,
really?
ground, and it's like really, really fine.
I would say so. Like pre-ground coffee generally
Yeah.
is actually too fine for automatic drippers across the board. Like it doesn't matter if it's a $20 or
Yeah.
$200 automatic dripper. Pre-ground, because it's kind of meant for a wide general purpose. It's kind of like what we were talking about last week with like Lutz. It's kind of
Yeah.
made for a wide general purpose, and they don't really know where it's going, so they just grind it a little too finely. Which
Ah,
one is bad because it goes stale
Quicker.
within the day.
Right.
Like that's why like at cafes they grind the beans like right before they brew it.
Right.
But that's also why like I know you do this, O'Brien. That's why with your dripper like you throw in at least two filters to limit the amount of fines that end up in the bottom of the cup. That's why is because it's just
Yeah.
too fine.
The
it's too
Cafe Bustelo,
fine.
if you do it in a dripper, you're gonna
Interesting.
get like there's gonna be some
Yeah.
residual.
However, the Italian method of
Espresso
making
is Italian. I'm sorry, Italians.
okay, it was a different drink.
Okay.
I think it was like a macchiato or something.
Right.
Something we associate, or maybe cappuccino. I don't know. One of those. I'd have to double check. Anyway, the Italian, I know this one is Italian. The Italian way of making coffee,
Yeah.
like their equivalent of an automatic dripper in a US,
Right?
it's everywhere in our house and diners. Over there, they have mocha pot. You've
Oh.
actually probably seen it. It's like a hourglass
Yeah.
shape, and it's like usually silver.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a
Right.
like black candle.
Yeah.
That's the way the amount of I can't speak.
Right.
So the level of fine you need from your grounds is probably a little bit closer to Brie Crown
Yeah.
coffee because of how fine you need it to
Yeah.
be. Um, and here's an awesome Italian fact for you. The
The what?
Colt, well, I don't want you to look at my screen.
I'm not looking. I'm looking
Okay.
away.
Hold on.
Look away.
So the creator of the mocha pot loved the mocha pot so much.
I'm not looking, dude.
Okay, good. Loved the mocha pot so much
Yeah.
that he wrote in his will when he died, he wanted to be cremated and his ashes put in a giant mocha pot.
That's awesome.
Oh,
And
that's a great
Cole,
idea.
here it is.
That's one mean cup of Joe.
Man. Oh, that's a great idea. I can that would be a tribute.
That's amazing.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, that's wow.
If anybody's gonna get put in a coffee dripper, it'd be O'Brien.
You just don't want any confusion with any of that processing. Oh, cold brew could. But anyway, that's.
Okay, well, here's my question. Cole, you keep moving around. Now I gotta
I told you I was going to move around.
Yeah,
I told
that's
you
true,
that.
that's true.
It's gonna happen again.
Try to see.
I've had a lot of caffeine today. I've had espresso and an
We
energy
do
drink.
not have a lot of caffeine.
I've had more than usual.
Cool.
Not as much as last
like,
like not as much as last Wednesday. It's just becoming the kind of a Wednesday theme, okay?
yeah, I've noticed because it's the way it's been the last month.
Okay, so I have to show up to work 30 minutes early on Wednesday.
Oh yeah,
And I
that's right.
reward
We're calling
myself by being on time and doing that by having extra caffeine.
it. Oh,
Well, that's a
And
good
so-
reward. Yeah.
Yeah, and then like I know I'm gonna do this, so then I have like a pick me up in the afternoon as well.
Yeah.
And then so I end up just consuming a lot of caffeine on Wednesday.
well, that's a good reward. It's just
So I've had like a double shot of espresso, and then I had like a large Diet Coke, and then I've also had an energy, like a rain energy drink.
water.
I am drinking water right now.
I was really hoping this was Guy Fieri. Like,
Yeah, it's not Guy Fieri flavored water, unfortunately. Actually, the Guy Fieri one's not very good.
You know, one thing is I can't remember much coffee consumption in this movie.
Yeah.
When you
Yeah.
reminded me,
Mostly wine consumption.
a lot
that
of
makes
wine
sense.
consumption,
I
yeah,
thought
and
so.
other substances, yeah, but not much. Because I was thinking Italian coffee when you said that, Isaac. You know, whoa, what do you?
Yeah.
But nah,
But
All right, here's with the question, Isaac, so we can start
Ah.
talking about this.
yeah, I'm trying to ask the question.
Isaac, go ahead and do the question, please.
I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you. All right. It's kind of what are your like Halloween watches?
Watches?
Yeah.
Oh,
What you think I said?
we said blotches. It didn't make sense. I used my context clues.
Halloween watches.
Right. Uh, so I don't really have a consistent one. I'll say this: it's frequently at least one Del Toro monster flick.
Okay. Well,
Hmm.
well, we can expand it to seasonal watches. Like it could
Yeah,
be for Halloween, Christmas, Thanksgiving, St. Patrick's Day.
I just don't do that.
You don't do that?
Like I maybe to a degree. If I do it, though, it's because someone else is doing it. Like I don't have
Oh, I see.
like like I feel like I end up watching a Christmas story or at least half of it at some point during Christmas. But that's because other people are watching it, and it's like just a
Yeah, I've actually gone away from watching Christmas movies
yeah. I love
as a
Home Alone
whole.
though. That's true. I do love Home Alone. Chris Columbus, shout out.
Yeah, Home Alone is awesome, but I've even gone away from watching that.
Yeah, I
Like,
usually watch that in like January or something.
yeah, what's funny is all of them have genuinely been replaced by Black Swan.
Yeah, that's so disturbing.
Yeah, yeah, maybe.
Like I have
But
movies I watch secretly. Like I
yeah.
have movies I watch about once a year, for sure. But
Oh yeah, yeah. What's that?
oh, okay. So Lord of the Rings
Oh,
trilogy, at least once a year. Jurassic
do you
Park.
do the enhanced?
Yeah, extended edition, of course. I
Yeah.
didn't do that this last year, but I was making Kylie watch them for the first time. Oh, the year before that, actually.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, and then the last year she had to watch the Hobbit movies, and that was
Oh,
enough. Yeah. Um,
Yeah. Once we watch the first Hobbit movie, then it's fine.
yeah,
You
but
don't
we're
have
gonna
to
do
like.
extended edition this year, so that's good. Um, the so anyway, the Lord of the Rings trilogy, Jurassic Park, the SpongeBob SquarePants movie,
Oh, that one's awesome.
Jurassic Park with the SpongeBob SquarePants
Oh,
movie.
SpongeBob SquarePants the movie.
Yeah. Um, I would say consistently those are the only ones.
That's Cole. That's the most you thing. I think you and
Like
I
there's other
quote.
movies I watch frequently, but it's more like at that point we're talking every like 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Like actually once a year, if I'm being honest, it's Lord of the Rings trilogy, Jurassic Park, and SpongeBob SquarePants the
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah. I get that. Well, obviously, Black
Black
Swan is
Swan. That's
probably.
insane. That's the most insane yearly watch I've ever heard.
I don't know why. It's just like, well, I've seen it twice in December now. I guess this is my thing. And then it just, I don't know. I just kept it up.
Just insane.
I don't know. Let's see how far long I can keep that up before I like have a breakdown. Um, oh, now I'm forgetting what other movies I'm thinking of. Oh, around Halloween time specifically, I actually do a lot more Halloween watches than I have ever done Christmas watches. Like I always do kind of a Twilight Zone marathon
Yeah.
ooh.
because Twilight
Oh,
Zone's
that's
awesome.
right.
And I get pretty nostalgic for those days on like the sci-fi, was it the Sci-Fi Channel? I think it was like
Oh yeah,
Sci-Fi
used to
Channel
run.
when they did the
Yeah.
Twilight
Yeah,
Zone
they did the marathon.
marathons.
Yeah.
And I have like the box set of that. I always do a watch of I think I do more TV shows than I do movies because I have probably watched Samurai Jack at least once a year.
It's the most Isaac answer.
Mr. I think I consistently watch SpongeBob SquarePants the movie and Jurassic Park.
Well, yeah, sure, but you watch the entirety of Samurai Jack.
Yeah, you say that, but it's like what, 4 seasons, 10 episodes? It's only 40 episodes.
Have you guys seen the Barbarian Sound Studio movie? It
Yeah,
sounds great.
are you talking about like Barbarian?
No, it's let me pull it back up. It was in when I like Berber
Oh,
BER, and it's a British psychological horror film. It just sounds so good. Toby Jones is a sound engineer, and he arrives at the Berberian sound film studio in Italy to work on a film that he believes it's going to be about horses. But I think Gallo horror, if the film is actually a Gallo horror film, the Equestrian Vortex, that's the movie within the movie. And then and then they do Foley work, they use vegetables to create sound effects for the gory torture sequences, but then the horror film starts to take over the making of a horror film, and it just sounds great. I gotta admit, I have not seen it, but that, uh, yeah, that's and it just sounds intriguing.
That does
And I
sound
kind of
cool.
get in a John Carpenter vibe around mood around this
Yeah.
time of year too. That's
I watched Good Boy this last weekend. I don't know if y'all have seen it. It's a horror movie shot from the perspective of the dog.
Oh, I heard about that.
It was pretty good. Pretty
I saw
interesting.
that the filmmakers have been trying to get the dog like an Oscar nomination.
Yeah, they should.
And
He's
then
so awesome.
and then they're also like,
The dog is awesome.
yeah, and then they also made like a marketing campaign.
It's a
that
great
was,
dog
like,
performance, straight up.
it
The
was
dog
like
is really good.
it was like pictures of the dog, and sad images of the dog with like sad like Sarah McLachlan music, and it going, um, they say I can't get an Oscar nomination, and I've been disqualified from Oscar because I am not human. Let's open up a new category dedicated to best dog.
no kidding. Dog and cat. They gotta say gotta keep the cat people happy.
Animals. They're doing best animals.
Look,
So-
I'm just gonna say I don't want to get into the movie too much. I just want to say it's been my favorite horror movie I've seen released this year.
Really?
And what's the name of it again, Cole, with the dog?
I
It's,
did. I mean, to be fair, I haven't been in love with any horror movies I saw this year in theaters,
Really?
but I really, really like that movie.
What did you see? Just so we have a basis.
I saw Weapons.
yeah.
Also, which I liked, but like I didn't love
Yeah,
as
it
much as
wasn't-
I think a lot of
Yeah,
people.
it's like a good 3-star film. You know, maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah. But
yeah,
not
absolutely.
just a really good film, but just not
Really good movie, just not like I had some people who were like, "This is like one of the best horror movies you're ever going to see. It's going to change your life."
No.
Yeah,
Like-
that was me with Barbarian.
Yeah, yeah. I love the first part of Barbarian.
Oh yeah, same.
The second part is
I was like, this is kind of not what I continued watching for.
right. And then I also saw the New Conjuring movie,
Why?
which is I don't know, dude. I just did. I did. And that was not good. So
Yeah, it was a new Conjuring
I'm
movie.
trying to think if there's any other ones I've seen this year.
Did you watch Sinners?
I actually didn't watch Sinners.
Yeah, what's funny, I haven't either.
Yeah, we need to do
Yeah,
that.
we probably should.
We need to do that.
I've been so in love with the concept of Sinners since the very first trailer.
I'm afraid
And
I've hyped it
part
up
of-
too much for myself.
Yeah, that's
Carter also really liked it.
yeah. You see, that's the problem, Cole. See, now we're getting to the part where you and I are hyping it up in
Yeah.
our heads, and now we're like, we have to let it die
Yeah.
down before.
Yeah, when James Gunn said that what's his name?
Michael B. Jordan.
No, Ryan
Coogler?
Ryan Coogler. He said Ryan Coogler would be his number one pick for a director he wants to work in the MCU. He said that during the Superman promo stuff.
You mean DCU?
In the DCU, yeah. Obviously.
You threw me off.
Yeah, in the DCU, and he said that, and I was like, Sinners is probably great. Like,
Oh no! Don't. Why'd you tell me that? Oh God!
Sinners is awesome.
If I watch it and it's not like the next Citizen Kane, I'm gonna be so disappointed now. Maybe I should watch the SpongeBob SquarePants movie
Right,
first.
right. Because I don't know, man. That's a hard act to follow.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Such a good ride.
Oh, maybe I'll do the newest Looney Tunes movie.
Yeah.
A pretty good film. Not awesome, but like good enough to just like watch right before Sinners.
Yeah.
And then I'm
Oh.
more pumped for Sinners.
Right.
That's the classic cartoon. Back in the day, they would run cartoons before the feature, and that could
That's
be
maybe the
perfect.
move. Maybe we're missing that.
Say it again, Cole.
That did that.
That's a good bet.
Yeah.
All right. Y'all want to get into it?
Yes. I think this is another movie for me where it was like, if we didn't land on the random, I would not have watched this.
I probably
no.
wouldn't have either.
Yeah. No, I've seen the. You're exactly right. You call up Fellini on the Criterion channel, and you look at the different icons or so many
Right.
movies. He's got like 50
Yeah,
movies.
it's so many.
And
This
Yeah.
well, no.
Have you guys seen the box set for it? It's huge.
My James Cunningham, shout out to him. He'll know he won't listen to this, but he has the Fellini box set. It's
Wow.
amazing.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't have
And yeah, nerd. The
What a
just even the artwork. I wouldn't have. This wouldn't have attracted me. You know, and there's so many good Fellini films you need to watch, and
right.
it just I wouldn't have. But I am so glad we went here because
Mhm.
Yeah.
so many of the themes that he does later on, he's doing them right now. I mean,
Yeah.
this so many funky, cool, strange things. Uh, yeah, I really enjoyed the film. I ended up watching it kind of like 1.5 times, or and just delightful film. Um, yeah.
Yeah, I will say, okay, first Fellini. This is my first Fellini here.
It's a
Ah,
weird place to start. Maybe a good place to
My
start
name is
though.
Isaac
yeah.
Dirksen,
Why
and
not?
this is
First
my first
film.
Fellini.
Yeah.
But so the first thing I noticed, and I kept thinking was, damn, this guy's really good at blocking.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
And
Like,
I will
oh,
say that's consistent.
I'm so
yeah.
excited to
Yeah.
hear that because, like,
Oh,
especially like the entirety of like the kitchen aspect stuff, which
oh.
during the eating, all I could think was me and Cole eating Berkshire Brothers chicken.
I cannot. This is the most sick I've ever been on a set.
Oh no, I remember. But like also right before that when we had lunch and I
Yeah.
was like hunched over like a vulture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you and I were both eating that chicken the way they were in the film.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
There's you have to get the air in with the chicken.
oh yeah, it was nice slippery chicken. Anyway, went right down. No, 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 not good there. The blocking for this movie was absolutely phenomenal, and I don't think I've ever like really been turned on to blocking as much
Mhm.
Oh, but
before
when you
we
start to
watched
notice it, and then you
it.
realize the elegance of it, and just and the impact it has, then you
Yeah.
start just watching for it more and more and more. And Fellini is awesome. He only gets better. You know, he starts off this way, and he just gets better and better and better.
Yeah, and I think
It's definitely one of I think his strength as a director, and it's also something I love about Akira Kurosawa, is just
Mhm.
like particularly large groups of people, and also
Mm,
Martin Scorsese is the other another person. Every time I watch one of his movies, I'm like, there's a huge group of people, and it feels like each one of them had something whispered in their ear about like what they should be doing and how they should be interacting with the frame.
right.
yeah, and I never
Oh,
really like I thought about blocking, but not in the way that I think about it now. Mostly to you.
Mhm.
That's pretty much all thanks to you and your absurd fast not absurd, but like huge fascination with Kurosawa's like big wide
Yeah,
samurai things.
yeah, yeah. That's my shit.
Oh yeah. Cole, I've seen you run down the street with the samurai sword, fighting for your honor. That's not true. He never did that. Or
No.
maybe he did. The best part is the audience will never know.
What are we talking about right now? The movie's very good. The uh, the classic. Look,
Look, I got thrown off my game.
you're fine. The one thing I really love, and this is definitely also a theme throughout Fellini's films, I just love how gray the characters are. Particularly, we have this male character who definitely has like a very warped and relationship with masculinity that he's not comfortable with.
Yeah,
Uh,
well, he's also Italian. And I mean that because, hold on, I probably should have expressed. And I mean that because Benito Mussolini Look, the way Benito Mussolini came into power was basically by creating a form of toxic masculinity.
no, that's true. He was like the first manosphere guy.
Yeah, and that's how he was managed to like make his way through power. And when he was hanged in public,
Right.
that toxic masculinity persisted, and you can see it through like various cultural elements,
Yeah.
particularly through Italian cinema. And that's kind of all I was thinking about in this movie. I was
Yeah.
like, man, Benito Mussolini did a number on these people.
No, well,
Because I mean, this is 1950.
yeah,
Yeah,
Like
but
this is
it's
after
only
Mussolini.
6 years removed. I think Mussolini died in 43 or 44, so it's just
right.
6 years later. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
and to look at these people, and I hadn't thought about that. I mean, I love history, and I should have been thinking, but yeah, it's just 6 years later, and you're right, toxic masculinity, what they had been through, and
Mhm.
you look at where they, and of course, it's a time of a lot of unemployment,
Yeah.
marginal
Yeah.
employment. All those realistic films, films of neorealism show the struggles, like Bicycle Thieves and stuff, shows the struggles of the people. But yeah, it's amazing what they've been through. And yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
because Japanese cinema is pretty much the same way.
oh,
Because this is
totally.
gonna sound crazy, but I think I don't know, I was doing a week or two where I was just watching a bunch of random Japanese movies that were just sitting on my shelf. And I was like,
Right.
on number 8, I was like, why is this the 8th time I'm seeing rape?
Yeah.
And then like I have the Lone Wolf and Cub box set, 5 movies, all of them.
Yeah.
Pretty much every samurai Kurosawa movie. Lady Snowblood is about
Yeah.
someone getting raped. But I was like, why is this a thing? I started looking into it, and it's a very similar thing where like the Imperial Japan created a form of toxic masculinity that like still persisted for decades on, even if like a generational thing where like the son trying to be different from the dad, but still there's those level like elements that come out through the art.
Well, and
Oh yeah,
there's something really particular when we talk about kind of like this unhealthy masculinity that I think Fellini um I also think of 8.5 a lot, and I think this movie there's
yeah,
actually there's
yeah.
similar themes with the main characters,
Oh,
but particularly uh he leaves this woman that he's very comfortable with, who's
Oh
very doting and cares for him. And honestly, we get at least I get the feeling that the relationship, she is almost not only his partner, but also kind of his mother.
yep.
And she, she's so doting and takes care of everything, and financially is also the one
yeah,
putting up the bill. And so she's really taking care of him and babying him. And then he gets seduced by this new lavish thing that comes
Younger
before.
woman.
Yeah, it comes before him.
Liliana.
Liliana.
But you know what, Cole? As you mentioned though, even Liliana, I love the shades of gray because
Yeah.
like this film is similar, and I in research, you come across there one film I thought of just from it, but we'll get to that. But the film I had not thought about, but it's all about Eve, a film about the being in the theater and
Yeah.
Broadway, and very much, and of course it's about this um, young starlet that is very, she's after, she wants what she wants, and she's going to go after it, and no matter what, and get that success. And Liliana's not quite that way. In Ann Baxter, I
Right.
think, is the character in All About Eve, the actor that plays that part, that very conniving part. But Liliana, it's funny when you first meet her, you just don't realize how she's going to end up as
Right.
quite as conniving as.
Yeah,
And
it's interesting because I think
yeah,
she plays off more innocent, and I don't even think she's necessarily a dynamic character. I think her playing innocent is part of her conniving from the very
Mm,
beginning.
I think that's a good
yeah.
point. And
I do
yet,
think she has a
yeah,
line, unlike all about Eve. Like there's a line with Liliana where she's I don't think willing to cross, but she is playing him and being
oh,
manipulative and conniving
absolutely.
from the very beginning.
You know
Yeah,
what?
and
One of the
I feel
differences.
like
You're right, Cole, and she's playing him at the. What I kind of see it is, how at the end, Liliana, I think she really thought he was going to come to that. Checo was going to come to. The impresario was, that she had seduced, in a sense,
Yeah,
was going to come to her performance, even when he she ruined him. She left him, she thought that he would show up there, and at the end she looks around and he's not there, and
right.
they see each other in front. But whereas in All About Eve, that woman, I don't think she would have cared if anybody was there. She was the star, but Lily was
Absolutely.
actually hurt. But you're right. She did seduce. She knew what she wanted, and she ended up getting it. Yeah, yeah. That's But yeah, shades of gray in those characters. I just
Yeah, and I think don't get me wrong, we all love dynamic characters and we like characters who change a lot. But I think one thing that makes um Federico Fellini really impressive is how well he handles stagnant characters. In the sense
Mm.
that like I think this movie we is largely about two stagnant characters who go through an arc that would
Ooh,
change 98% of all the characters that you could come up with in this scenario. Like I think naturally you want to write and direct these characters to be dynamic, but it's kind of really interesting that at the end of the day
They
they
do the same shit
the
that
thing
the
they did at the
same.
beginning.
they are so stagnant and just kind of they are so obsessed with what they want. They're so attracted to whether it is he's attracted to the young thing even though he knows it's bad for him and she just wants the starlit career and she would do it all over again. That's the feeling I get
I
from
know.
her. And I
Yeah,
just think it's really interesting because it's a good entertaining movie, but the two main characters do not change. They
yeah,
are
no.
They
ultimately the
don't.
same.
It's a circular trajectory. There's
Yeah.
a
I think that's
yeah.
what keeps you
Sorry that
invested.
and that and another review. Well, I think it was the one of the might have been one of the Criterion reviews mentioned that they no yeah, it was another review. But anyway, they mentioned that they were disappointed. They thought they get to the point where finally he's going to stick with that Checo was
Galena.
going to stick with Giulietta, Messina, Fellini's wife, going to stick with that sympathetic character who bankrolled him,
Yeah.
and then of course it's what reminded me of that, and I didn't like the end of this movie, The Woman in Red with Gene Wilder. If you've seen that film, he gets taken by this woman, the woman in red, and you think, okay, he's going back to his wife at the end, but then his eyes get caught just like,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, just like Checo's eyes, yeah, got caught, and it's like, oh man, he didn't change. It's a good point, yeah. And one
Yeah.
reviewer just did not like that, and I kind of, it's if you just kind of step back away from the film and you look at it on a little different level, it doesn't bother you as much, but still, yeah, it's
No, in the moment, it's a bummer. I mean, like,
Yeah,
it's not a happy ending. You're
no.
like, our little tramp of a protagonist, like, did learn absolutely nothing. I mean, like, you know, like, he
and that was derogatory, folks.
And here's another, our last episode, I got to admit I hadn't seen a Little Tramp film, a Charlie Chaplin film, and there the comparison in this film to Chaplin is like City Lights,
absolutely.
and I have not seen that one either. So,
But he
would you
is
take us
like,
through that comparison? Yeah.
yeah, he does. He is kind of like, um, I mean, he is a less lovable version for
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
He's maybe more of I mean, a realistic interpretation of Charlie Chaplin's champ character. I think Charlie Chaplin's like champ character is so almost so helpless that you're like, it's endearing.
Right.
And I'm
Right.
not saying Checo isn't endearing to a degree. I think the fact that he is somewhat endearing is his only real thing that has kept him afloat throughout
Kept
his
us
life.
to hoping that the end would be good, all the way through
Right.
the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
You're
still
like,
hoping. So yeah, yeah.
yeah, but he is like, just once again, he just is, he can't help himself. He's constantly in this own delusion, this circular motion.
Mm.
I think I think it's really well done. I think he's an interesting character. I love that we go through all the excruciating, like, he's like, I'm doing it different this time. And he finds a different group of variety workers who are way more diverse. They're
Well, I
not all
love those people.
Italian.
Yeah,
And he tries so hard to like make the ballet, like more high art aspect of it click. And
yeah.
ultimately,
The Hungarian choreographer. Whoa, she's wonderful. Yeah, yeah,
right. And ultimately, he's just the same sly dog at the end.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah, I think that's what keeps this movie interesting though, is because you sit there, you're watching it like, surely he's got to change.
yeah,
Because any other movie you watch, like if the it's classic writing and critiquing a
Mm,
film where it's like if the protagonist does not go through some sort of change,
Metamorphosis.
you have made a bad movie. You have made a bad story. Yeah, like
Right.
some
You
kind of
don't have that
transformation.
arc.
This guy, he doesn't.
Yeah.
No,
Because
and it's okay.
yeah, but it's interesting. And I feel like it's almost like when you watch a Hitchcock film, you're like engrossed in the film. You're like something's about to happen, or it's not something's about to happen. You know what's about to happen in Hitchcock's
Right.
case. Like, oh, there's a bomb. It's going to go off.
Right.
It's
Right.
going to
Right.
go off. Surely it won't go off though.
Right.
Surely it's not going to go off. This bomb that we've been watching for 3 minutes
Yeah.
surely will not go off. And I
Don't
feel
call
like
me
it's just
Chekhov's
Shirley.
bomb.
something to check out. I can't remember. But yeah, I feel like it's like that. Nah, never mind that idea. Throw it out the window. I
Okay.
was
Sure.
about to say, oh, what if it's Chekhov's personality? And I
Yeah.
was like, no, that doesn't work.
Chekhov's lust.
I mean, he does start off
Yeah.
meeting the girl.
It immediately tries to get like handsy in the car over.
Yeah,
Oh,
and then we do see it again at the end of the film.
oh,
Yeah. Yeah. No. His
But I
poor
guess that
Melina
doesn't
gets
really work with Chekhov's first lust.
No.
Because he would have had to had sex with the
Yeah.
the girl in order for it to work.
Yes.
Yeah, the idea thrown out.
Yeah.
Yeah, forget I brought this up.
Yeah.
Cole, I thought Cole was giving me like a brain blast, and then it was.
I feel like Isaac's really bringing the coal energy this week, and I'm.
I know. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
You
you-
gave it to me because you're on the downturn.
Yeah.
You got the Isaac energy right now.
Yeah.
Hey, we swapped places.
Yeah.
It's because we're sitting in different chairs.
Maybe that's what it is.
yeah. I can remember watching like eight and a half. I think I was a sophomore in college, like a film appreciation class, and eight and a half was just so strange. I love, you end up you think, what was that about at the end of the day? And you really need to watch it again and do some research into it and understand a little bit more what Fellini's doing. But it's some of the reviewers that have trouble with his films, and they can be good reviewers. I think they had trouble with this film, but they're looking for, until you get used to Fellini, because these reviewers were looking for naturalism, psychological realism, characters having an arc, and they're doing one thing and the next to make that arc. That's not going to happen in a Fellini film, and you just got to look at it in a different way and go, when are those weird children going to show up? Or, there's going to be a procession that's a circus type thing. The camera and all that other stuff just adds up on kind of an uncanny subconscious level until you just all of a sudden you kind of just give up the idea that there's got to be reasons that people do things. I mean, I think Fellini would say we're not rational people. And so I'm not going to make a movie that because people aren't rational.
Yeah.
So my characters,
there's a real cynicism to his movies, and you see
that's a good point.
Would it be cynicism though?
Just in the sense that like there's something cheeky, and that like I think
I feel like it's more pessimistic.
that's maybe a better term for it. Where there is, I just think there's an understanding that like, not that necessarily. I don't think. And like I'm like gonna start like thinking for a guy who's long dead, but like I don't think he thinks people are evil, but I don't think he thinks people are inherently good, and like or doesn't think most people are inherently good.
Yeah.
But there is something inherent to people's nature, and whether that is because they have a strange relationship with their mother, or that they just have like a weird like a vice that they just don't know how to shake. But there is something sometimes that is so inherent within a character or a person that they can become cognitive of it and still not change. And I think in most movies, once that character becomes cognitive of the problem, we usually see them have some type of meaningful growth. And I think in this film is a good example of like sometimes Fellini's like, yeah, but maybe he is just a lustful dog, and like there's not any hope for him, and or like
Yeah.
maybe or like in the case of eight and a half, maybe
Yeah,
he'll never truly understand his relationship to women, and that's not something he's ever going to actually figure out. And
Yeah,
he's just going to
and you
die
just
I
not
think
having
that's where the
gained
turn.
that.
I think that's
and you
why
just
this
kind of
is.
accept him as he is. He's got to accept himself. The other people have got to accept him, and he's like Guido in 8.5. He's a
Yeah,
likable guy.
absolutely.
But yeah, it's but he's not really going to change. He knows that he needs to change, and he's just it's not. Yeah,
I think that's
but
very
on the
much
other hand,
why
there
it was
he accept. He's
considered.
got to. We've got to accept each other as the way we are in some respects,
Yeah.
because maybe we're not going to change. That in a sense, he might be onto something.
Yeah, but that's definitely why this movie is considered neo-realism because throughout watching it, first of all, I thought this movie was chaos for the first like 15 minutes
Right. Yeah.
because the chaos of the show,
Yeah.
Whoa.
the chaos of the whole dinner scene, and then followed up by a nice classy establishment, which I thought was like, okay, now we're in classy area,
Yeah.
and then there was a dude drunk under the piano. I was like, this movie is just pure chaos.
There's at least a 15-minute stretch of every Fellini movie where you're like, this is just pure chaos.
Yeah,
It was like,
give it
what
up. Yeah,
cocaine did he do in the bathroom?
Yeah.
But that's good to know that this is just a Fellini thing.
Yeah.
But but throughout watching, I was like, this is just like almost like too realistic.
Yeah.
Like when you think about like the dangers of show managers
Yeah.
and
The
talent,
good
impresario.
point.
yeah, talent scouts and
Mhm.
stuff. The casting couch.
Yeah.
That's a great
Yeah.
point, Isaac. Because on a superficial level, you could say, yeah, I say superficial, but on a level of like naturalism, plot, how would people act? You could say, oh man, I'm losing track. These people didn't change. But on the other hand, maybe it actually captures how we are. I can't remember how you just phrased that, but you nailed it. Like the dangers of theater, and on an irrational, true subconscious level, the way we really are, he nails it in some respects. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was just like all these characters almost feel too real.
Yeah, I think if you've been involved in theater or just
Yeah, oh,
around
yeah.
talent people, like actor people, and like that, I'm one of them. That is not
Especially women.
what.
I mean, like the way they're treated.
Oh, the way they're treated.
What did you think I was thinking?
I don't know. I was just talking about like their personalities in general, like how it's such an odd assortment of
Wow, we
people.
went two different directions.
Yeah.
Um,
Like it's such an odd assortment of people, but they are like they all kind of they want the recognition, they want the stage.
yeah,
They're
there's a level where they want the spotlight.
yeah, even
Yeah.
though they're like there's a level of absurdity to all of them. Like people who are wanting to be actors and performers are just like kind of absurd people.
Yeah,
Um,
absolutely. I
and
feel like you have to be absurd though.
yeah, absolutely, 100%. And this movie is just like
Oh,
it is like I mean the party scene when they follow that random lawyer to his house, his villa, and it is the most it's so weird, but it's such an honest depiction. Like, have you been to the Weird Theater Kid Party? Because that's it. Like, it is like it is like it is such an honest depiction. I've been to a cast party that is pretty much that to a T. Like, I just
Including eating the cheese.
it's dude, they're such an they come into this guy's house, they immediately start raiding his pantry and
want
cooking
forever.
an extravagant meal. Um,
And they're like randomly picking at the food. Like there was
while they're doing it, they
yeah,
look
there was
away,
one chick that was like
eat the
shaving the
cheese.
cheese, and then the guy looked away for a split second. She took a huge
Yeah.
bump of that cheese.
and then also like they're deep frying, which is the craziest thing to do in a house that you don't know, like a stranger's home.
Yeah, especially in 1950.
It's just wild.
1950 Italy. Let's deep fry.
And they
this.
start going through his liquor cabinet, like right in front of him, moments in the door. They're like, oh, there's plenty of wine to drink. That's great. And they just start going nuts.
What's so funny is
The guy's a lawyer. He's got plenty of money. They walk forever to get to his house. You're kind of thinking, this is going nowhere. I mean, where are they actually going? Then they get there and you're amazed because, wow, it's a beautiful mansion, villa.
Yeah.
And yeah, they go after everything there. And the funny thing is, all he wanted, this is a lawyer, all he wanted was a date. I say a date, but a night with Liliana. That's all he wanted.
Right.
And if I have to entertain
wanted a night with Valeria or Valeria.
Yeah.
And what was funny to me while I was watching the rating of the cabinets and stuff, I swear to God, it reminded me exactly of this episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia I watched yesterday.
Yeah.
Where they did that, like almost that exact thing. Because the whole thing about the show is they're kind of like a depiction of like
It's Always Sunny. There is something that is so akin to It's Always Sunny with this group of people. Like, seriously.
Yeah, no, like the whole show is on a premise of like the worst in people.
Yeah.
And like they did a crossover episode with Abbott Elementary.
Yeah.
Which is like supposed to be like PG or something.
Yeah.
Something which is funny, or PG-13, two very different styles.
Right.
But they show up and they're supposed to be volunteers for this elementary school, and the first thing they do is walk into the teacher's lounge and they start picking at the food that, by the way, they're not even allowed into this lounge. Start picking at the like random like food in the fridge. The coffee's all sludgy, and they're explaining to them how they have bad coffee, and they're eating the cupcakes.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, "What are you doing?
Who are you?"
And
That's the 100% the vibe. Yeah.
I was like watching this. I was like, this is like the gang, and It's Always Sunny. They just show up somewhere, immediately start raiding the liquor cabinet.
Yeah. This is man, I love this film. I love the blocking. The lighting is great. There was a Kylie was kind of like, on her phone, like in bed while I was watching this movie last night. And she just looked up for a second and she was like, man, it looks so good. And I'm like, and I just like had this moment, and it's because we've been watching such good movies lately. And I'm like, you know that stupid meme where it's like gotten really out of hand, but it's like, why don't we do this anymore? And it's because we forgot how. That's kind of how I feel watching some of these old movies. I'm like, why aren't things blocked and lit this way anymore?
We did talk a little bit of that in our bonus episode.
That's what I'm saying. But like, that was another film where I was like, man, do we just like,
honestly, at the end of the day, it's like tale as old as time. The reason? Studio interference.
Yeah.
They just want control. And it's a lot harder to control things when they want to look at something different or want to see exactly what they were looking at 5 seconds ago instead of any change.
There's so many dirty frames with the lighting.
Mm-hmm.
Swirly bokeh. Also, there's really great, interesting lensing choices being made in this movie from 1950s Italy.
I was thinking of how good it looked from a restorative process.
Yeah.
Because pretty much the only issue that remains, I noticed the audio as a constant, which is crazy because I was listening through my
there's
TV speakers, so it's not like
film that I noticed.
It's not just one. There was like several jump cuts. There was definitely frames that just went missing to time throughout this entire film because but like it's like of the 24 frames film, or I guess it's Italy, so it's like 25 frames a second.
Yeah.
So like of the 25 frames a second, like a full second would be lost.
Yeah.
Or maybe it would be like only a couple of the frames or something, but it was kind of noticeable, like a little jittery.
There's a few points where I
that's a good. Mostly in the first like 30-ish minutes. The latter half, which I was like, I don't know. I guess those are older. I don't know what that has to do with really anything. Other than Criterion, it was like, well, these frames are missing. Who knows? Maybe they'll find them.
One thing about speaking of missing, I was going to ask you a couple of it reminded me of that. Well, for one thing, this is two ideas. One thing that this is not missing, but kids in Fellini films, children will pop up all the time.
Yep.
Anywhere from 12 years old to 4. And I'd read that. This is really good. Again, my library from Dr. Ken Rivers, French professor at Lamar, and I was thinking, I bet he's got something on Fellini, and a really good book on these 6 directors, and including Fellini. And one mentioned that you get to look at that theme and you go, oh, good grief, there's children everywhere. But even when, even when definitely when they're first going into town, and it's before Liliana rents the carriage for them. They're just walking. So much walking in this film. This is in the daytime, and they're walking. They're miserable. They're walking from the train to the next theater, and in this town, and it's going to be a bad. The first theater was kind of good. The town was kind of welcoming. The second town, they were just terrible, bad audience, and so they're walking on the way. And then these kids show up, and they look like they're dressed for a wedding, and I think it's kind of a blessing ceremony that they're dressed for. That's just one tiny example, and so I've got that in my mind. And at the end of the film, when Checo faints because he's just so upset, the choreographer says, "You be a tree," because and Liliana has just left him. She's gone. His heart is so broken. He didn't even take a financial settlement when she went with the other guy with the big car, and so then he just faints, and then a child shows up, and it's just these little things, this repetitive stuff that Fellini does is just fascinating. The other thing I want to ask you about and see if there's more, if there's any more children you think of, but also there were just things that were kind of missing, like we never really see, Liliana wants to board the train. She's followed them to the train station on the very first night. And we don't see her board the train, but next thing she's on the train. And I know that's kind of a little minor thing, but you would kind of think continuity-wise, you'd see her running to catch up with the train. Mm-hmm. She looks at the train. You could tell she wants to get on the train with the troop, but then next thing she's on the train. And the Argentinian woman, right? I think she's from Argentina. It's like
Brazilian.
A Brazilian, yeah. And we see the trumpet player, but then where was she? Because her playing was really good. She had a good act. But then there she is. She finally shows up at the end. Anybody else? Any other ideas you think of? Things that are missing and then they pop up, or just kind of weird? Anything weird?
I think it boils down to one simple thing: directorial debut.
Yeah,
I think that's really what it is.
I do think there is an element where, it's hard to keep up with this large of an ensemble of characters,
especially for your first movie.
Especially for your first movie, and I think there's just things that are missed.
Yeah, because there were things that I feel like were kind of missed, like when we did Woman in Paris.
Yeah,
because like by that point, Charlie Chaplin knows how to make movies.
Yeah,
he knows how to make them well, but it was like his first drama,
right?
So like there was some like dramatic elements I feel like didn't hit as hard as they would have later on in his dramatic career, because he hadn't like really honed in that.
Yeah, it's a different pacing.
Yeah, it's different pacing, but that's why comedians are.
One thing I missed, it was a little thing that I just, you're right, it's so dense. You're trying to keep up with so many people, so many characters, different managers. You're thinking, what's the structure of this company? Is there a company manager? There's a manager, then there's like the group, the troop manager. But the guy that shoots the gun, I realized on second watch, this woman is holding up a cigarette for him to shoot, but he keeps shooting the light bulb.
Yeah.
It was just weird. I loved it.
Yeah. There's a really interesting scene with the Brazilian woman is doing her like dance act in the lobster's ring, and you can just see it in his face. You're like, dude, this guy just can't help himself.
I kept thinking the whole time, all these people are dying from these light bulbs. Because there was the dude that ate I know that's off topic, but like this.
No, you're right.
That ate the light bulb at the very beginning, and then there was the dude with the gun that shot the light bulb twice. Back then, you broke a light bulb, you released gas.
Yeah,
you could kill people, especially if a bullet.
Yeah,
that was just a little aside where I was like, somehow Fellini returned. I think I don't know. I feel like the way the light bulb scene was cut though was definitely a thing with the it being like directorial debut because I felt like it was a little weird,
Yeah.
like almost like I watched it twice, which I know repeated frames makes a lot of sense with older stuff because it was just really hard to do it two, three times over and over again. But like the way that continuity was cut, I think that's why like O'Brien missed it for a
Yeah.
little bit there. Um, because I think if he didn't repeat it like two or three more times, it would have just completely been lost in the sauce of that scene.
Yeah. There is a lot of chaos.
Yeah, a lot
Yeah,
of
A lot of
chaos
chaos, a
for
lot big
better
ensemble.
for better and for worse.
Hmm.
yeah, yeah.
But overall, I think it's a pretty excellent movie.
Oh,
What
What beans?
how many beans would you give
how
it?
many
Oh,
beans?
oh. Cole, you asked a question, you go first.
Okay. I think I'm going to give it, this is a hard one for me.
Mm,
I think I'm going to give it seven, but seven like very excellent beans.
like
I
those Ethiopian.
like those Ethiopian beans.
Or is it El Salvador? Who's El
El
Salvador?
Salvador. I think it's a very good movie, and I was wildly entertained, and I thought the characters were very interesting. But if I ever watch this movie again, it's probably going to be a long time from now. It's not something I'm probably going to revisit very soon,
Yeah.
particularly when there's other Fellini films that I think have a
Yeah,
lot of similar themes and similar characters. This feels like his first film in the sense that like everything in this movie he does in later films in one way or another better.
Mm.
And so I don't necessarily want to bring that movie down because of this, but there
no,
is just an element where I don't know. It's not. I really really enjoyed the movie. It's just not something that I wouldn't even go as far as to say it was a great movie. I just think it was a very good movie,
Yeah,
and
very solid.
I really I definitely enjoyed it. And you could see you can see start to see the elements of what makes him special in it.
right.
Yeah, I love the blocking. I thought the lighting was pretty good. The characters were solid for the most part. I think I gotta give it like six though, partly because it's just not my
Cup of
cup of
tea.
tea. It's just not my or cup of coffee. It's not my cup of coffee.
Yeah,
Why are we saying tea?
it's true.
It's not
Awesome.
my thing. And it's kind of like what you said. I feel like there's just other things out there that follow very similar themes
Yeah,
and kind of just do an overall better job of it
yeah,
to some extent. Um, or even like the bonus episode movie from last week where the guy desperately wanted something
yeah.
and stopped at nothing. Like I feel like even that movie
There's
did a
some.
little bit better of a
Yeah,
job than this. Like there's just some elements where I'm like, how did we get from A to B? Like
yeah.
this was lost somewhere in
Ah,
this
with all
chaos.
the
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
What about you, O'Brien?
Oh well, it's such a good point. Yeah, yeah. You got to be able to get from A to yeah to if you're going for that kind of subconscious and even irrational things that pull us together, you don't want to be confused about A to B. So and sometimes that did get a little challenging. Um, I think I'm going to give it yeah maybe 7.5 really good beans, pre-tariff beans.
Yeah.
But 7.5 really good beans. Yeah,
Oh, so you're not
and
buying the beans after the tariff, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
After the increase in price.
What makes it harder?
woo.
Oh yeah, it does. But like, there's some beans where I'm like, yeah, I would still pay more for it.
And
But
certain
no,
camera equipment too.
Yeah, we
The
were talking about that.
yeah, and I don't want anyone who's listening to this who happen to
Roombas
not
too.
see the movie. I don't. This is not disparaging you from seeing it. It's definitely a worthy film to
oh
watch. It's a
yeah,
very good movie. Um, and I think considering that it is a legendary director's
Di-
directorial directorial debut,
Dictatorial.
dictor, dict, I'm gonna stop talking.
A
directorial,
Directorial
directorial
debut.
debut.
And there it is. And it really is. It is pretty. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, reminds me maybe of watching Del Toro's first film, something like that, where it's and he only works those themes and meshes them together and
Yeah.
cooks them and marinates them, and they get better and better. But that first film was really good.
That's a great example. I think like Kronos, I think
Oh yeah.
is actually kind of a similar thing where you're like, if you watch Kronos and you think about what Del Toro's movies mean and what he accomplished in his
Yeah,
later films,
Ron Perlman, Doug Jones, Supernatural,
Yeah.
Catholic Guilt, and then like aside from Pacific Rim, everything else he does just does it better.
yeah. And it's one of those things. It's like, but you watch it. It's not that you shouldn't watch Kronos.
It's a really solid film.
It's a really solid film, and you can
Yeah.
see that there is something really special that is just
Ooh.
like not refined yet. And I think that this movie does that as well. There's like,
Yeah, and then he made Hellboy.
did he? Hey, Hellboy rocks.
Hey, Hellboy 2?
Oh,
Rocked
the
even
rock.
harder.
Yeah. I can't believe we never got a third one.
I heard Crooked Man was good though. But that's off topic.
Yep.
All right. Drum roll. 1107.
1107. Okay, jumping back to the new world.
A film by Gordon Parks.
Okay.
Ah,
The Learning Tree.
Well, the Learning Tree. Cool.
It is
Wow.
1969,
Yeah.
United States in color. With this tender and clear-eyed coming-of-age odyssey, the renowned photographer turned filmmaker Gordon Parks not only became the first Black American director to make a Hollywood studio film, he also served as writer, producer, and composer, resulting in a deeply personal artistic achievement based on Parks's own semi-autobiographical novel, The Learning Tree, follows the journey of Newt Winger, a teenage descendant of exodusters growing up in rural Kansas in the 1920s, as he experiences the bittersweet flowering of his first love, finds his relationship with a close friend tested, and navigates the injustices embedded within racist legal and educational systems, exquisitely capturing the bucolic splendor of its setting. This landmark film tempers nostalgia with the incisive understanding of the harsh realities, hard-won lessons, and often wrenching moral choices that shape the road to self-determination of the young black man at its center. God, that was a lot of reading.
That is a lot of reading, but it
That
sounds really cool.
Sounds really good. Oh my God, that was so much. It was just a wall of text.
Oh yeah, I'm excited.
but no French words. So that's helpful.
Yeah, that's why I was able to read it.
Yeah,
Because
get
we
through
love
it.
It
their
was like
film.
completely English.
Yeah.
Through
Yeah,
and through.
exactly.
Oh man. God, once when we start getting to like Asian cinema, I'm boned. So boned. Anyway, this film, let me look at what the Learning Tree,
It's on.
yeah, movie.
Yeah.
It's not on the channel,
Okay.
so that's a -1 being for me.
It's saying that.
You're right. You're right. I should. Nope. It's only rent.
Rent only.
Yeah.
That
Buy
is -1.
buy rent.
Just kidding. But yeah, I'll
Unless
find
you
it
have
somewhere.
YouTube TV.
Okay. Oh, actually, I do have YouTube TV.
Oh,
I
sweet. You're gonna give
steal
me
it
a login,
from
right?
someone. Yeah, it might be IP lot. We'll discuss, or you just come over here and watch it.
Yeah. If we can make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on Amazon. You can rent it. Yeah. And on
Yeah. We'll
Tubi,
figure it out.
Cool.
Oh, wait. It's on Tubi?
It's on Tubi. Where did I see that? Yeah.
It's on Tubi, dude.
Okay. Tubi's free.
Yeah, there you go.
So, anybody interested?
No excuses.
Yeah. No excuses this time.
Yep. All right, guys.
That was someone.
All right.
All right. Well, I'm Isaac.
I'm Cole.
I'm O'Brien.
And before we go, please like and share it if you enjoy this podcast. And if you want to bring your own ideas from the movies we watched or just wish to chat about cinema or coffee in general, then please leave a comment and engage with us. Please engage with us. Well, I think we did that out of order. We usually go, we usually say that, and then I go, I'm Isaac. I'm
I'm
Cole.
O'Brien.